Yes people, what is good? I am BA, back once again with another reaction in the Deadwood series. This is episode 5 of season 3 and it is called Two-Headed Beast. Last episode, there was a few things we were focusing on. The General and Hot Stetler came back into the camp. Steve did not want to give up ownership of the livery. It caused Seth to have to get involved and help negotiate the situation, which ended completely unfairly in my opinion, that Seth put up the money for Steve to buy the livery of Hot Stetler. Obviously Hot Stetler's still getting money and that's cool, but I would have much preferred he owned that place, he started that place. Yes, he did abandon it, but it's because he feared for his life, not because he was being ignorant towards the livestock. And just because of how much of a piece of shit Steve is, it was annoying to see that conclusion, but I guess at least it ended peacefully. Mrs. Ellsworth opened the bank, so now she is in control of this town's money. I love it because it gives her so much power in that community, and it makes her a more formidable foe to Mr. Horst. And speaking of him, out of the blue, last episode randomly announces to Al inside that he's leaving the camp. Again, I'm not sure if this is some sort of play by him inside to manipulate Al, or if he is just legitimately going to be leaving the camp. He did say specifically that he was going to be coming and going as he pleases, but that seemed more like a sort of way to protect his ego, and in fact he was just leaving the camp for the time being. Is he trying to get out of Dodge because he expects there to be a lot of violence? Also, it's kind of like, well, I wonder who the main antagonist for the rest of this season is going to be then. Is it going to be Cy? I mean, there's got to be some sort of, conflict going on. And if Mr. Horst leaves, it seemingly diffuses the major conflict this season. That's what makes me think that we've probably not seen the last of him, or at least we haven't seen the last of things he puts into motion. And the Doc continues to cough horribly in every scene we see him in. I'm praying for the Doc's safety and health. That's one character I don't want to see die before the end of this show. I don't know the guy's name yet, but the guy Brian Cox is playing, the actor, has agreed to purchase the schoolhouse off of Joni, and in exchange he will also pay to have a new schoolhouse built. That was an incredible deal, a great negotiation. It was good to see both parties were happy, and this guy seems like a man of his word, so it's good to see the camp will not be without a new school. And he gets his theatre, so it was a literal win-win. It's nice to see a win-win scene from time to time in these shows. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this episode, so let us proceed. This is episode 5 of season 3, A Two-Headed Beast. Let's check it out and see what it's saying to it. Powers Booth, I learned recently, is another actor who has passed away, so RIP to him. He does a great performance as Cy.
You not knowing about any uneasiness between Tolliver and Swearingen sounds to me like a lie.
Yeah.
Last episode I was saying I was worried Al put Silas in charge of this because I was concerned of his safety. I hope he isn't killed.
I'll have to win you away.
I guess so.
But I oughtn't to imagine the process will be quick.
Now, this is interesting because Silas was originally bought off by Al and then came to work for him. Why wouldn't he be bought off by Mr. Horst and then go to work for him? Has he developed that level of loyalty for Al?
Go ahead. Put a hole in that thing. I'm measuring a stroke to move you along with the rest of this shit.
She's been given some dope one-liners so far.
Fucking spittoon spilled over my head. That you already knocked on its side when you were fucking dozing.
He put a spittoon on his head. That is legendary.
Fucking respect yourself. And the fucking occasion, and bring no more fucking shame onto my place.
It is so good to hear him getting spoken to like that.
Slenny-eyed bastards!
Oh, for fuck's sake. This guy has zero redeeming qualities.
Why the depositor at the Bank of Deadwood, having considered, ought come forward in assurance and confidence.
She just wrote the entire article for him.
Have you any questions for me?
And it was a good article. That's going to be good publicity for the bank. I wonder if she is okay. The Doc should have went into what that was exactly in more detail. I don't know if he thinks it's an illness causing her demeanour or she's back on drugs.
That sea creature Turner called me out.
It's Hurst calling you out.
That sea creature. When the show Deadwood first started, I thought Dan was just a ruthless cutthroat. I absolutely love the many layers to his incredibly insecure, lovable character.
Ready your pen.
Is he literally giving a pistol start to them signing the contract?
That keep my sense of priority. What the fuck is important?
So petty, they had to sign simultaneously, but Steve refused to be in the same place as him. Absolutely ridiculous.
A locally owned bank and...
Careful.
Mind the step.
Such a bank cannot help but...
I did warn you.
I wonder if her words resonated with me at the time as being more poetic and compelling.
I do see his point. She delivered it very well. Off paper, it doesn't read the same. What the fuck did he get stabbed for?
We shall fetch the sheriff, Mr. Blazinoff.
Whenever I see a knife, I instantly think Dan or Al, but I don't think it was either of those two in this instance.
I was copping for another, but it wasn't fucking Lila. That cunt at the bank.
Does he mean Mrs. Ellsworth? So he's getting drugs for her? No way.
Cornishman. Talk union. Work for Hearst.
Whenever one of these Cornish people dies, I'm not sure if this is Hurst killing one of his own people, or it was something Dan or Al did.
Wait a bit, Bullet. Don't go for Hearst yet. You know Al.
That shows the understanding Seth has with Al at this point. He could just be like, who are you telling to not go for Hurst straight away? But he has faith that Al has a plan, so he's just going to sit back and allow Al to do his plan. It shows that Seth is a sort of sheriff with a little bit of legal leeway. Bit of humanity in there.
Watching us advance on your stupid teepee, Chief, knowing you had to make your move.
I don't know if these scenes with him talking to the head are supposed to be hilarious, but to me they're just so funny, because it shows another side of Al. It's like he doesn't have many people in life he feels he can really talk to, so he uses things like the woman that give him head and the Native American's severed head. That was amazing. Obviously, she suggested they shake hands. He was like, I don't have to do it. She was like, touche, I'm not shaking yours either. Much respect to Mrs. Ellsworth for that one. I never want to see that character on screen again.
Forgive my confusing, Dan, my own deep feelings for you with what yours may have been for me.
He's still the rattiest of the rats, but E.B. Farnham has grown on me a bit. He's incredibly poetic with his snakiness, and almost transparent with it. He's so bad at masking it.
Davey, what in fuck business you think you're gonna do standing behind there?
Boss says I'm to attend the auxiliary bar.
Even this guy's moving up in the world. He never used to be able to talk down to anybody in this place.
Hey, you don't want to take that smart aleck tone, that fucking attitude with me, Davey, you hear me?
Moving up the food chain.
Plants that organizer's body like a flag in the fucking thoroughfare?
That last is fresh news.
But Farnham is now in Hurst's back pocket, isn't he? So he's being a bit of a double agent now.
Scoundrel! Hearst.
That was a bit too fraudulent. Is he being sincere? Is he still secretly Team Al?
The cook?
The Negress and I are not intimate.
All right, E.B.
The actor has portrayed this character so well.
Glad to have been of help. Always available to counsel.
That to me sounds like he's still Team Hearst.
A crucifixion.
Too painful, even the merest detail.
Is this another actor? I just assume anybody who knows this guy is an actor.
The place is yearning for elevation and festering with wealth.
Oh dear.
Don't know who this poorly guy is, but he seems like he's up for a good time.
It's past me. I cannot figure the fucking angle. Go ahead and fucking fight him.
All right then.
That's the news Dan has been wanting to hear all day. This is a strange pre-fight ritual.
Your blade.
Naked, visible in its fucking sheath, and dispensable before we join.
He's wanting to straight up fist fight this guy and beat him to death. Gotta respect that.
It's not lacking for brass.
I can't believe these two are going to have a good old-fashioned fist fight.
For not much fight, it did not end quickly, I suppose, is what I'm trying to say.
It's got good hip rotation. I bet he'd have powerful hooks. I understand why they didn't put the Rocky music behind this scene, but they coulda. Oh, it's on you, Captain, this son of a bitch. Oh, it's so cool these guys are both playing by these fair rules as well. Starting with a bit of Greco wrestling, classic. We've got a moment of chaos in the scramble. The Captain gets a back elbow. I feel like a fight commentator. Well, so far, if I was like a judge, I would say that the Captain is slightly winning on the scorecards. He's landed the more significant shots and got the takedowns in better positions. Oh, Dan's mounting a comeback now. This is getting close. Both guys are heavily fatigued. The Captain's now just going for biting. Shows that he was a bit desperate though if he had to resort to those tactics. Come on, Dan, you can do this, mate. Caused a bit of havoc, but it made him let go of the choke. Oh no, not in the puddle. Al thought it was over there. You should have kept watching, Al. Your boy's got this covered. Got the heart of a lion, has our Dan. All he needs to do is think about his feelings getting hurt to get his second wind. Oh, shit! Oh my god. Holy shit. He's just ripped his eye out of his face. Oh my god, I was not expecting that. Dan, you absolute legend. I bet the Captain never saw that one coming. He was hard to hit in that fight. It's like, now you see me, now you don't. Oh, this is the ultimate moment for Dan, getting to do something as gangster as that in front of Al. That just made Dan's life. And I think he might have just killed the Captain with that final shot to the back of the head. And if he didn't, he certainly absolutely destroyed him. I cannot believe he just pulled his eye out of his face. You've got to see it to believe it. I suppose when one's hanging in front of the other, it's easy to keep your eye on the ball. Okay, I'm done with my "you've just had your eye ripped out of your face, Captain" jokes. Officially done.
When recovery is in prospect, is an indulgence one can sometimes justify.
It's quite an interesting angle they've introduced this season, like this acting troupe with a producer and an actor. I still can't see how their story can impact the bigger picture, but it certainly adds a bit of colour to the town, though. Just colourful characters to have around, I guess, in the mix.
The theatre is formally a bordello. It meets with your rebellious scrutiny.
Cool, so he's brought this guy in to be the producer at his theatre, I guess?
I must stress.
That guy seems so happy he gets to do this shit.
Costumes, Countess, will you chair?
Yeah.
Props and scenery. Chair?
Ah, so they help him with his theatre productions.
Civic Relations Construction Subcommittee, Claudia.
It seems like these guys have been doing this for years, so they must have been working together for a long time.
Doc's back, Dan.
Don't need the fucking doc.
Now, I'm not laughing because he's crying. Dan's emotional instability is endearingly hilarious. Of course he cries after a full-on fist fight. It should be a big day for Dan. I think he proved one-on-one he basically is the toughest guy unarmed in the whole town of Deadwood.
Him going blue too would hint to you to fucking come get me.
Definitely.
Even his voice sounds changed. At least he wasn't coughing in that scene, but shit. Doesn't look good for the doc right now. So she is back on it. Oh, that's so fucked up. On one hand, I'm so happy because I misinterpreted the doc's words a few episodes ago as it was some sort of reaction to the surgery she'd had, causing her emotions to go out of whack or something, but no, she's just back on the fucking dope. That is horrible to see. And you know what's fucked up? I remember the scene where she first took it, and she was like, I don't think I should take this due to my past, and the doc was like, this is just medicine, take it. But getting that one little taste of it seems to have brought her back on it full time. So I guess on one hand, it is good she is not dying, but on the other, it is horrific she is back on a deadly drug that's going to affect and confuse her judgment when she's running one of the most powerful establishments in this whole place.
I could almost wish it cooler.
Is she considering fucking Ellsworth?
May I help you with your back?
She is. Is that how you're rolling this season, Mrs. Ellsworth? Just opening banks, doing dope, and fucking guys you only married to save another man's wife the embarrassment of knowing that the baby was yours you no longer have? Is that how you're rolling? Just going all out. Season 3, last season. Balls to the wall. Is that Saul's "May I Have Some Pussy" knock?
Which makes what you're doing stupid, or being in, don't want to see you. Which makes you a pain in my balls.
Trixie has definitely grown on me this season. She's always been a character I've liked, but she's like one of my favourites this season, I would say.
You fucking work at the bank.
I do now.
Not a noble hello at opening?
It's always a tough transition when you get into a new line of work, especially if like your previous work was prostitution and you're moving into accountancy. It's quite a drastic shift.
Do you want to get fucked or not?
Please.
Well, at least with all that conversation out of the way, she knew the deal.
You mind?
No.
It's kind of cool. She's making the most of the fact she has a husband. I guess this is what they're supposed to be doing. I assume Seth is now doing it with his wife. Deep down though, it's weird because I feel like her and Seth were far more naturally compatible, naturally attracted to one another, and then they've just separated them and given them their own spouses. And it just feels like there's not enough episodes left for this to have a sort of resolution. She must be doing the dope behind his back. I think he would be furious if he knew she was taking dope again. And if this is what she really wants to do, cool. It's just the fact that she didn't do it sober. If she'd have done this sober, this would have been so cool to see. Like, why not them actually make the most of being married and get together? But the fact she's just got high then decided to do this.
Arranged to collect my things.
Did he detect she was high there? Why would he say that?
I'll collect, Sophia.
Don't forget.
He did detect she was high. That scene definitely 180'd from the direction I was expecting it to go.
Hostler don't know where the board is. I'm the one hit it.
Oh, I believe that.
They're looking for the crucial piece of chalkboard evidence. Please tell me this does not get erased. I want to see it presented to Seth.
Is this it? Is this the board?
Is Seth helping them look?
Yeah.
Oh, Seth's gonna read this shit. Please tell me Seth reads it.
What the fuck is that supposed to be?
Oh, no.
Only for Hostetler once escaped to send the real fucking board back from Cheyenne while he's laughing up his lion sleeve.
Why is he making this process so infuriating for everyone else?
Talk stupid to our fucking dust.
Did Hostetler just kill himself? Oh my god. Oh, that's shit. As if Steve's bullshit infuriated him so much he was prepared to do that just to get the fuck away from it. Unbelievable.
What are we waiting for?
See what kind of hell breaks loose.
There's no way Horst takes this shit lying down. He just saw his top man get body bagged in the street and just had to stand there watching it.
Leave the bottle.
He's going with the classic way of coping with a defeat.
Jack Young.
Yes, sir.
How do you do, Jack?
How do you do?
I get the feeling Horst wants to murder Jack.
I cannot betray the whereabouts of an honor guest.
The most professional rat you ever did see.
too stupid to wake me from my nap.
Not at all.
Going down there now, Jack.
Cy definitely doesn't look quite as upright, and he looks slightly more unkempt just now. I think he's still feeling his injury just a little bit.
I'm sorry.
It happens. It's the nature of things.
Horst looks genuinely upset about the loss of his top guy. It's one of the few times I've seen him truly emotional. But lest we forget, he's a piece of shit that cornered Mrs. Ellsworth. A very dislikable thing to do.
You sound drunk.
Do I?
And on top of all this, now he's got Seth to deal with. Let's go.
Did you just tell me fuck myself?
I think I did.
Oh, shit is going down today.
I will shut you up for good.
Oh, wow.
I'm taking you into custody.
There.
Don't be stupid.
Don't you be fucking stupid. Ah!
By the ear as well. Now, if the captain was still alive, he would not have allowed Mr. Horst to be taken into custody like this. He's all alone in this camp just now. Yes, he has, you know, bought off politically allies and Cy and Farnham, etc. But in a situation like this, he's kind of fucked.
Not a fucking word comes to print.
Understood.
But even Al knows this is a bad idea by Bullock. Horst is going to let down a shitstorm because of this. Okay, and that was episode 5 of season 3 of Deadwood, a two-headed beast, and I will be back in just a minute with my thoughts on that. So, a two-headed beast, what did I think of that? Another great episode in a great season so far. I'm gonna be honest though, I was kinda hoping Horst would stick to his word and was gonna leave the camp effective immediately, but no, he was still around. I really hope they don't kill off the Doc this season, but wow, the fact his actual voice has changed now, I mean, would they really give these traits to a character if it was just like a bad cold they then got better from? I just don't see it happening. I think if someone is like that in a piece of drama, they're generally about to die. It's a terrible character to kill off. I feel like he is a lot of the town's heart and soul, and I feel like there will actually be a little void without the Doctor character in this show. And Dan the man bringing home the W in the bare knuckle fight to the death. It was kind of hilarious how it was initiated as well, because I was thinking so hard of like sneaky maneuvers he could do or little tactics, and then he eventually was just like, fuck it, go fight him. And it turned out to be quite a genius move because it took out Horst's biggest bodyguard he has in the town of Deadwood. It was a great fight as well. It was just a brutal fight. There was no slick choreography, just an incredibly visceral, unarmed fight to the death. It was so unexpectedly shocking when he literally just reached up and pulled his eye out of his head. I don't usually make like the shocked face when I watch it, but I'm pretty sure when I watched this back, I must have reacted in some way to that eyeball coming out because it was so unexpected. And seriously, like, Dan might be emotional after the fact, but that must have truly made his life getting to be so victorious while Al was watching over him. All he ever wants to do is make Al proud. I bet Al was definitely proud in that moment. And he did it with Mr. Horst watching, like, fuck you, I've just killed your top guy. Don't underestimate us. Team Gem. And Mrs. Ellsworth is officially back on dope. So fucked up to see. I can only assume, as I was saying during the reaction, that when she had that operation and she said to the doc, like, I probably shouldn't take this, he was like, it's cool, it's just medicine, just have it this one time, and then he gave her more to take home. She clearly redeveloped the taste for it there and then started acquiring it herself. On one hand, because I'm a dumbass, I misconstrued the doc's initial opinion as it being some sort of medical reason, but no, he did in fact mean that she was back on drugs. On one hand, it's cool because I legit thought she might be dying, but on the other hand, it's not cool because she legit might be dying. Taking opiates like that is no fucking joke, man. She could just OD one night and then who's gonna raise the kid? And Horst Stetler's story arc was so heartbreaking, man. He seemed like a genuinely cool dude, just wanted to work hard at the livery and do do his thing, and because of the way the circumstances went with a wild horse, he had to flee, and it was only because he feared for his life. In the interim period, Steve managed to get control of the livery, and it was cool because, you know, someone had to look after the animals. It was a nice thing of him to do, certainly the nicest thing he's done this entire show. But then Hostetler and the General come back, and they should be able to take back their business. They only fled because they feared for their literal lives, and Steve starts with his absolutely racist, hateful tirade towards them again, forcing Seth to try and seek a peaceful resolution. And because Hostetler's so cool, he actually agrees to hand off his business to him in exchange for some money, which Seth fronts, by the way. Steve didn't have to pay any of that himself. And even before that deal was brokered by Seth, Hostetler was saying to Steve, you can still come and work for us at the livery if you like. Trying to be cool, but no, not good enough for Steve, just a prick every step of the way. Even in signing the contracts, he refused to do it within the same place that Hostetler was signing his contract. They literally needed a fucking starter pistol to sign a contract. And then, just as they're genuinely trying to help Steve find the chalkboard that I wish Seth saw, Steve accuses them of the chalkboard they have being phony and the real one being hidden elsewhere, and goes on yet another tirade, driving Hostetler so mad he goes outside and shoots himself. I thought I would never be able to hate Steve more than I already did, but today I definitely do. Hostetler seemed like such a chill, nice guy, and also I feel like the General's gonna be all alone now. He's just lost his best friend, so brutal to watch. Rest in peace, Hostetler. Not the character with the most screen time, but he seemed like an honourable dude the whole time we saw him in the show. And as always, I cannot wait to see what happens next week. If you've liked this video, click like, subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this, ring the bell to be notified as to when they drop. If there's anything you want to talk about, comment down below, and share this around to anyone you think might appreciate it or want to watch these reactions along with us. My Patreon link is down in the description. If you become a patron, you get access to my blog, you get access to these reactions I put on YouTube a month and a half in advance, and you also get access to full-length versions of everything I react to. So consider becoming a patron, it helps me and my channel out so much, and until next time, I have been BA, peace.